what we're doing this time, we're doing a little minor repair. And what we're doing, we're mending the blind. Now then, it broke while we were on holiday last time, so I managed to do a temporary repair, but today I've come back to do a more permanent repair on it. So if we switch lenses, I'll show you which window it is and what sort of blind it is. So bear with me and we'll switch cameras. So this is the blind. This top part of it here, that works absolutely fine, no problem with that. This one works fine at the moment, but it's only a temporary repair. So what we're going to do, we're going to make it more permanent with the proper materials and I'll show you how we do that in a moment. But it's one of these with the corners on like this. I'm not sure what make it is actually, but it's one fitted to our Swift exclusive, which is a Swift Alpine 4. So we'll move the curtains out of the way and we'll get cracking. So we've got the curtains mobilised. It's just a matter of taking off a little thing like this. If we can focus that properly. Put it on there and you can focus. Yeah, that's it. It just slots into the track on the curtain rail. So we've moved those out of the way, so we're left with the 4 little corner brackets there, the bottom there and the other side there. So I'm going to take those off, and all they do is just simply pull off like that. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and the last one up there. Just pull it out and clip it off. So that's it. And then you just see a screw in there. Don't know whether you can see the one screw just at the top there. And we'll just undo those and the whole thing should come off. So here we are, we've got the whole thing off, as you see there. Got it laid on the seat. And it is this bottom part here that we need to sort out. So there's a white string attached at the top there, and the same at the other side. The black one is for this top bar, so it's the opposite end. You've got the white string there, which gives you the white strings in the blind, as you see there. So we need to undo the little Allen key there and remove that string, and the same at the other side. And then so now we've got the string loosened, which is there and disconnected, so that's that all pulled out. There should be another one at this side, which I think is still connected, but we'll try and get it out very shortly. You can just see under there the white string, which I'll try and get out. This was the temporary repair, and that's the white string, which you see dangling there. So we've taken those out and we'll move on to the next stage. And the next stage is to loosen, excuse me, this screw here, and this screw here. Don't know whether you can see that or not, but that screw there, one at either side. We'll loosen those and then that whole thing should come off. So we've got the screws out, as you can see there, that one's missing there. So all we do then is just push. Can you hold the camera? So all we do there is just pull that apart gently, and that can lift that off. And then we do the same at the other side. Gently ease it out, and that releases the whole bar with the wires. Now then, what we have to do next is to release this end cap with a screw there, and then you'll be able to slide this bar off the blind. So we'll undo the end cap, like so. Leave the screw in, we'll pop that to one side, and then this should slide off there. Now you will note that these two strings do in fact cross over, so that goes to that side, that comes to that side, so that's a good point to remember when we're putting it all back together again. So we're going to replace these strings because this is not the right string. I've got some proper string to do it with, so that can do that. And now we've got that separated, we can take off this one from the bottom. Right, so we've got the idea, that goes across there, that goes across there, like so, and then the strings goes up there and then loops back on itself through those two holes there, and goes down the other side. So we'll have to take that string out there, take that string and just take it all out. So have you remembered which way it goes? Right, so that's the old string now, which we don't need because that's only a temporary repair. This is the new cord. See, it's a much better quality material and it is designed for blinds. So we've got this, and we can use this to make a proper repair of it. So the first thing we want to do is measure out roughly the same length of string as we had before. Don't worry, if you had a broken string, don't worry about it. You can do it another way, which I'll show you a little bit later on. And now I've got it all tangled up, because I do things like that, you know. We're nearly there, we're not far to go. Right, so that's the length of string that you need, but to make things a little easier, we'll add a little bit onto that, because You'll see later why. So we'll add that much on. Okay. And I have a knife here to cut it. So we'll get rid of that and save that for on. And this is the proper cord that we need. And what I will do to make things a lot easier is just to sort the ends out with a lighter. Be careful because the end is hot. And we'll just let those cool down a little bit. So that's sealed the ends. And what we need to remember now is which is the top and which is the bottom in the blind. So here we go. So this was the bit that slides up and down, and this is the bit that stays in the bottom. So what we need to do is we need to thread that through there. And I've got a good way of doing this. And I find the solder. Here we are. I use a bit of wire, and if you clamp the blind together, you can start from the bottom, thread your wire through, fold it over and attach the end of the cord into a fold in the wire. And if you make that nice and neat like that, you can actually pull that back through there, and that's your cord threaded. Okay. Have you got it so far? Okay. So then you need to pull it through so you've got roughly the length that you need. Let's just take it up to there. So a little bit more through there. We'll sort that out in a bit. Anyway, so we've got that, right? So then that goes through to the furthest hole through there. Okay. And then comes back up through there. And then we need to thread this bit through there. So here we go with the wire again. Clamp it all together. Shove the wire through. Fold it over. Put the end of the cord in there. Squeeze it together so it holds it nice and firmly. And then just pull the wire back through with the cord. Simple, isn't it? Simples. And then just pull that through there. Now then, if we make sure these two are fairly even, which they're not, you can match them up at the top here, and then just even it all out. So that they are fairly even, still a little bit. Which side is it? So it needs to be pulled that way. So let's pull on there a bit. And that looks about right. About right. We don't need it exact because we can sort that out later. Right, so we can now put this back into the bottom track, which is this one. No, we can't, not yet, because what we need to do is we need to fasten this so that it doesn't move. So we've got some tape here. It's probably not the right tape, but it's what I will use just to secure it in place. And it needs to go all the way across. So if we get our bit of thingy and pull that there, and as you can see it's far too wide, so I'm going to stick that on there. Stick it on there. Stick it on there, like so. And then what we can do is cut off the excess width, which is about there. Very carefully. All the time taking care not to cut the string that you've just threaded through there. So there, dispense with that. So there we are, that's how it should look, all nice and neatly stuck down and held firmly in place. So then we can reattach it to the track now. making sure all the time that it goes into the track like so. And it just needs to be level with the end of that. Okay, so that is that. Now then, the beauty of this is this technical part. That must then cross over to there, and that must cross over to there. So we need to reattach the top track now, and this has got the clip on it, so that must face up, so that's it. So what we do here, take hold of, make sure the wires are going, the strings are going in the right place, and we reattach the top part of it now. And making sure that that string stays within the middle of the track. And then the other one obviously comes through this side. So if we keep hold of that as we slide the track on, it should keep everything in place. And then make sure that it's not catching on the too much on there. So, and then we'll reattach the bracket, making sure that we don't trap that string in there. So the bracket fits on like so. Just make sure that comes through the gap, and then we screw the screw back down there. Okay, so we have a string there, a string there, and we can do that. And do that. Now, the thing to do here is to firstly find a pair of pliers, of which I have one pair here, and just gently hold the eyelet that you've pulled it out of and remove it. Pop that to one side and do the same with the other side. Now we've just pulled out the insert there, so I'm just going to pop that back in. And screw it in a little way, and you've got something to grip hold of, and then grab hold of that and pull it out. Right, so that's that. So So if you take hold of the string at one end, and if you can focus in closely on here, we undo the little capture screw or whatever it is you want to call it, grub nut or whatever, and then thread the string through there, just temporarily, and tighten. Loosely, not too bad because you'll want to move it later. So do the same at the other side. If I can just have my little thingy. You can see we just thread that through there, through the hole, and just pop that down there because I just need to clean that up a little bit. See if it'll go through now. No, it won't. So we'll try that one again, shall we? So we'll just snip that bit off. I'm going to find my lighter. Oh, here we are. Just try and keep them all close together as you can, and just do that. Let it cool a little bit, and it should, in theory, go through there. Nope, that's not going to work either. So we'll go back to the original plan. It's not to do that, so that doesn't help anybody whatsoever. I don't recommend you cutting on that, but because you're spoiling your window frame if you press too hard. That's not working either. Why did it work first time and not the second time? Hey? Well, it's still fillable. If you pull it out, it should make it smaller. I'll just unscrew that on slightly and see if that will work any better. Now that's worked better. So once you've got it through there, without dropping the screw out of it, that's always a problem with these little things like this. You either undo them not enough, or you undo them too much and they fall out. We should put that on there like so. And then screw in. Trap in the string. As I say, at this stage don't over tighten it because you may need to adjust it. So now we can do that. Now we've got that, we can put the track back into its place at that side. bottom section anyway. So that goes into there like so. I'm taking care not to trap that string. We'll put the bottom section back in place. And it should clip in now quite easily if we get it right. There we are, that's clipped in nicely. And then just check that we've got the right length of strings either side. Yes, we have, before we put the 2 screws back in each side. So if I have one of those and the screwdriver, we can put the screws back in. Remember, this is all plastic, so the thing is, the key is not to over tighten it, otherwise you could end up risking stripping the threads out of the piece and then it all falling apart later on. So there we are, screw that in there. It's all held nice and tightly. So that's all snugged up nice and tight now. Yep. And then the thing is to restring this now. So that's now got to go up the inside of there and through and round over the top. So if we do that, and then get your finger behind it, push that right into the corner, and it should come over the top there, and then you can just pull it up there. Let's do the same at this side. So just put your finger behind it, take it through there, push gently so that it comes up behind that track, and there we are. Right, so that's got that nicely. Now if I bring this down here, let's do this side first. What we need to do is to pass the string over the top of there and then push that back into that clip, but we need to loosen this first because we need to adjust it. So we've got that over the top there. Let's push that back into there where it's going to be, and we've got enough string now to just put a little bit of tension on it. So that's tensioning one side. Let's put a little bit, not too much tension on it to start with. We can adjust that later, and I'll tell you why we might need to. So that's got that side. We'll do the other side now. So I'll just loosen it off a little bit so we can adjust. Yeah. And then that goes into the hole at that side. on over the top there, and then we can adjust that side with a bit of tension on it, and just to hold it in place for the time being, because what should happen to that should come there. Now you can see we've got it at an angle, which means we've done something wrong. So either we haven't put enough tension on one side, or we've got too much tension on the other side. So my theory is we haven't got enough tension on this side. So we can undo that. Pull on that string, and it all falls down. Oops, it's come out of the loopy thing. So let's fasten that together. So have we got too much tension on that side, I wonder? You can see there, I haven't got enough tension on there because it's falling down all the time. So we need to add a little bit more tension on this side. And that works absolutely fine. You don't want to add too much tension, because obviously the more tension the more it'll wear, but we want it enough so that it will hold. So once we've got that satisfactory, we can go ahead and tighten, but not over tighten, these little Allen keys here. So that we get it held in place. So there we are. That's it, and all we have to do then is replace it back onto the window and we're done. So that's the repair done. We can trim off the excess here. And just tuck that back inside. If you just do that and that, and then just tuck it inside there, then see you've only lost that bit. Then that is the blind repaired. If that goes up there like that, you can do that, and release the catch and you can do that, you see. All repaired. You can stop filming now. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and we'll hope to see you again in another how to do it video.